Hello everyone. Very good morning to all. Again, I'm here with today's editorial, the date 24/12 and 2022. We are going to read out today's editorial column. So, let's start it with the thought of the day. Scroll down. Today's thought of the day is take risks. I know it's scary, but you need to take risk. If your dream looks too risky and scary, break it down into smaller parts. Then it won't be as intimidating to pursue. Yeah, I'm definitely agree with this thought because we should take a risk if we want to become successful in our life. We should not be feel scary because if you take risk, then only you will become successful. So with this thought, now we are going to start today's our editorial page. So editorial title is Fighting Cancer. Fighting Cancer. And let's read out headline of editorial is on cervical cancer vaccination for girls along with vaccination screening must be done to detect early signs of HPV. So let me tell you first what is cervical cancer. So cervical cancer, it is a type of cancer that occurs in the cells of the cervix, and it is mostly found. It is found in the women's, especially in women's and girls. And the main cause of this cervical cancer is that long-lasting infection with the certain types of human papilloma virus, that is HPV. Here, author is mentioned also, and this is the main cause of that cervical cancer. And HPV is the most common virus, and that is passed from one person to another through at the time of sexual relation. So this is all about cervical cancer. Now we should read out this editorial. What is exactly given here? Central government announcing that it will roll out vaccination for girls aged between 9 and 14 years through schools. Now, India has taken up the India have decided that we should be fight out this with this cervical cancer, and for that, what is means prevention. What we can do is we can do vaccination, and here India's central government has announced that we should be give vaccination in between the girls who belongs to the age of 9 and 14. So here central government have decided we should give vaccinations, and the decision comes at the critical juncture with a study in the Lancet published this month showing that India accounts for the highest number of cervical cancer cases in Asia, followed by China. Now, how we got that this cancer, this cervical cancer is we found in India. So the main thing is we found it when we did the study. So there is one organization or the health authority, they did a study at the Lancet publication. And after doing study, overall study, they come to the point that India is suffering from this cervical cancer, and India is at the first position in the whole Asia continent. So, so India is suffering from this disease, and after this, at the second position, China is there. So scroll down, and according to that study, the overall data has given here. Let's read out. More than 58% of the cases of cervical cancer and deaths globally were estimated in Asia, with India accounting for 21% of cases and 23% of death. Now, after the calculation and overall data, after seeing the overall data, we came to the point that India's women of India are suffering 21% of the cases are suffering from this cancer, and there is 23% of death occurred already occurred, and that's why we are at the first position, the country who is suffering from this cancer, cervical cancer. We are at the first position, and afterward China is there, whose rate is like 18% and 17%. This is the, it can become a GS question also, guys. Note it down because here is overall data is given. So here cervical cancer is a preventable and treatable cancer. Even though it is a very harmful and very worrisome thing, that is cervical cancer means it's not a little any kind of disease. Because of this we can die also, but it's not like that. If we are suffering from this disease, exactly death is there. No, it is a preventable and uh, treatable disease. Preventable, it means that one kind of disease on which we can do treatment and we can stop this thing. So it is that kind of disease and cancer. So scroll down. It is caused by infection with the human papilloma virus. As I already told you, HPV. It is caused because of this virus, HPV, whose full form is human papilloma virus. And there are vaccines which protect against carcinogenic HPV, with more than 6 lakh women diagnosed with cervical cancer worldwide in 2022. Here now, the according to the calculation of 2022, here is the total data is that 6 lakh women are diagnosed with this cervical cancer. And now we don't know, today's rate, what kind of means what is the rate of today's women who are suffering from this disease. So 6 lakh is, it is not a very less number, it's too big, right? So what exactly means, what precautions we can take? So there is a vaccination, and vaccination that government, central government have decided we should produce vaccination to the girls who belongs to the age 9 and 15. So as we produce this vaccination, so it can be stopped to it can be, through this vaccination we can stop that spreading this cancer. And the World Health Organization laid down several guidelines that countries need to follow to eliminate it as a public health problem. And what Health Organization had did, they they can ready to do anything to eliminate this cancer, because we, our health is most important thing, and for our country and for our world, means for the world, the people's health is most important part, and for that the health ministry is ready to do any kind of thing to eliminate this cancer. Scroll down. And according to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, the WHO has specified that countries must reach and maintain the incidence rate of fewer than 4 new cases of cervical cancer per 1 lakh women a year. Now here, according to the international agency, what they have seen, they seen that there are 4 new cases. If they are stick with this rate, 4 new cases for a per 1 lakh woman, then it is, then that day is not so far that we will totally reduce or eliminate this cancer. So we have to maintain this rate, that is 4 new cases for per 1 lakh women, then only we can eliminate this cancer, cervical cancer, easily. Hold on. To achieve that goal, it is necessary that 90% of girls will have to be fully vaccinated with the HPV vaccine by the age of 15. So, if we have to maintain the record as we read out above, for that it is necessary, it is compulsory that it is compulsion that we there are 90% of girls should be vaccinated, and for that our central government is doing they are doing hard work to produce the vaccination for the age of girls 15. And to that, the end of the government's intent to introduce second para. To that end, the government's intend to introduce the HPV vaccine in the Universal Immunization Program, that is UPI, and is a welcome move. And the government is introducing a new kind of vaccination, that is HPV vaccination, and the UIP is ready to welcome it by heart, because we want our country free from this kind of diseases, and we are ready to do any kind of thing to reduce it. And vaccination is the solution for this disease, is cancer. And India's immunization network, as was evident during COVID-19, and has worked well, and diseases such as polio and maternal and neonatal te- ten- tetanus have been eliminated. And as we know, we are already fought with the COVID-19. Here author is telling that we have already fought with the COVID-19, and at that time we found that we have a means too much strong immunity power. And if those people who were not having the immunity power, they learned that, they build their immunity power, and now they are ready to fight with any kind of diseases. And with this thought, and they have already fought, and we people, the India's people have eliminated paleo. Here the given are some kind of viruses and diseases. We have eliminated this disease, and now we can, if we are vaccinating, the central government is providing this vaccination. If we all are applied it those, so that day is not so far. Uh, on that day we can eliminate this cancer too. So because our immunity power became a very much strong. Now let's see second para. Hmm. The UIP is one of the largest public health programs targeting over 2 crore newborns and 2 crore pregnant women annually, and offers free vaccines for at least 12 diseases. Now, what UPI is doing, they are ready to eradicate this, and for that, they are ready to do any kind of thing, and they are providing vaccinations, and 2 crore of 2 crore for the newborns, and 2 crore for pregnant women, and they are providing these vaccines in free. So this is a very good news for our country and the health of women. And to battle cervical cancer, India is expected to roll out the indigenous developed Cervac vaccine by mid 2023. And this is really one battle, and with whom we have to fight, and we have to come out from this disease. And for that uh, we have developed one vaccine. And here is roll out. Here is one phrasal verb, roll out. What's meaning? So its meaning is like to make a new product or service which is available for the first time. Now we are making available this vaccine for the first time at the mid of 2023, and it has received the Drugs Controller General of India's approval, and has been cleared by the National Technical Advisory Group for the immunization for the use in the UIP program. And for the securation of ourselves, and to be safe every girl, we have decided to produce this kind of vaccines. Mm. Now scroll down. The vaccination will be provided primarily through school, but importantly, the government has clarified that girls who do not go to school will be reached through community outreach and mobile teams. So now the government is providing now the first thing is that government is providing this vaccination in schools, because we have to give this vaccination the girls between 9 to 10. So for that government is providing vaccination in school. But what about those girls who cannot go to school? We can say that even now we are living in 2022, and we are ready to enter in the 2023, but still there are lots of areas in India where there are lots of areas like rural places where girls cannot take good education. Girls are not able to go to school, and they are not able to take education. For those girls who are not aware of these things, this kind of cancer and this kind of diseases, what they do, they only suffer from these things. So for those girls here, government have decided they can reach to them through the mobile teams, so here is one thing that means with this thing where every girl and everyone should be reached to that vaccination, and everyone should be safe. Scroll down. This is a vital step because studies show that there is a link between cervical cancer incidence and Human Development Index value, with progressively lower rates observed as the HDI rises. Now, here is one word, vital. Vital means very important, and this is the very important step. And how we got to know about this disease after study, right? So after study, we came to this note that we have to be vaccinated if we want to eliminate this disease, this cancer. So for that we have to be vaccinated. Scroll down. Together with vaccination, screening programs must be conducted to detect early signs of the disease to allow timer for treatment. And here, vaccination is the not only thing, as we already read out the headline of today's editorial. Vaccination and screening, this both should be needed. So screening means to protect something through the test. Somebody means through the test, we can stop that thing through the state. And as we already know, this cervical cancer is a treatable and preventable treatment, preventable disease. So what we have to do is we have to be vaccinated. We have to spread this thought, like girls and every woman should be vaccinated if they want to secure their self, if they want to save their self. Yeah, scroll down. So yeah, this is all about the today's editorial. So now after listening this whole topic and whole information, what do you want to say? Like what is the tone of editorial? Anyone can, the panel, you can tell.
Informative.
Yeah, it's informative. Mm. Anyone else?